Hello there friends, welcome to my channel JP's Crochet. I am Amber and today is another sit and stitch. Yep, I should have not gotten up and recorded this. Shouldn't have, but I almost didn't. Y'all, yesterday was a long, tiring day. Hoo-wee. We had recitals yesterday, but we also had chiropractor appointment right before, not recital, oh my goodness, rehearsals for recitals, for the recital. And we had chiropractor appointment right before rehearsals, and so I started getting, stressing about having enough time to do hair and makeup. It only took me we had all of it done, and she had enough time to sit around. Well, let's see. I'm trying to think here. Was it almost not an hour? Not quite an hour. I was done and I was like, ooh, we still have this much time before we have to leave. It was like, I don't know, almost 30 minutes before we had to leave. So I had it done in about 30 minutes or so. Anyway, it turned out pretty good. She looked good. She danced well at her rehearsals in her beautiful costumes. It's important for me to be at the rehearsals because we can record the video, we can record the rehearsals, we can record the dances during the rehearsals, because they highly discourage video recording at the actual recital, which I am okay with, because it allows you to sit there and just enjoy the show and not be distracted by others around you. I'd rather enjoy it, and I do believe they bring in professional. They bring in someone to professionally-ish, like, if that's what you want to call it. They bring in someone with good camera equipment to record the whole recital, so that way if you want a DVD, you can order one afterwards of it, a video of it or whatever. So there is that. It's not like, it goes unrecorded or anything. So it's just, I get it. They've got someone already doing it for one, but that's not the reason. But it's mostly because then you don't have like 100 people in the audience with their phones up recording during the recital, and just distracting from it. But it's fun. I like it. I like how they do it. And then, rehearsals aren't just you show up, rehearse the stuff, and go home. It's you get dressed up in your costumes and get all dolled up, get all your hair and makeup done as if you were going to do the actual show, and you perform your dances as if you're going to perform them for that night. But they do allow them to go through them twice, and do some adjustments between the two if they need to. And so you get 2 chances to record the video. Last night I was recording one of the dances. She had 3 last night, and I was recording one of them, and I got like a text message or something that I cleared. Then as I was clearing it, I accidentally hit the record button, and it stopped the recording while I was recording the video, so the dance. And so I was like, well, I had to record the second one. Thankfully it was this, I had both to record, and I choose to record the first one because it seems like usually the first one is the fresher one, or the little bit more polished one, I guess you could say, because I don't know, it's just like there's something about the first run through that they're usually decent at. They have the energy or something, I don't know. So I've been recording the first one and then watching the second one, and sometimes the second ones are better than the first, but that's okay. I at least get, I get one, and then I can watch the second one or watch the other one. But I think recording the first one is just better, because then I can just record it, put my phone down, and watch, wait through the adjustments that they do, talk and all that, and then they, sit and watch the second one. So each dance, oh, it takes several hours to get through all the dances, but you're entertained in between the ones you have to be there for. Well, at least for us, we had 3 we had to be there for. So we, I got to sit there and watch some other beautiful dancers dance and get to see their dances. You know, that's the other fun thing about the rehearsals, is I get to see all these fun dances and these beautiful costumes, not once, but twice, sometimes even 3 times, you know. So like, because my daughter's in 2 shows this weekend, I don't think all of them are in the same shows. So what they do is they have several shows over the weekend, Friday and Saturday, for the location that she's at. So there's 3 locations now. They've got their main branch, so to speak, and then they've got 2, I think. Yeah, just 2 other offshoot, like mini branches, so to speak. Not any less, obviously, but the other 2 locations have their own weekends of shows, I believe. Or they did it all in one weekend, I'm not sure, I can't remember. They used to do it where one location would do it one weekend, one location would do it the next, I think. Or honestly, I don't know, because it's never really mattered to me. I just remember we were in the one show every year, so. But the years we were at the other locations, we were at, but then they didn't have this one those years either. This location that we're at now is their main location, and they didn't have that when we first started with this studio. I know it's so confusing. So they only had the 2 locations, and then the one that's I call the main one now is their main one, because they went from having studio locations where they didn't have a stage to perform at. So they would go to churches and places to do their performances. And so we've gone from performing in churches and high schools to we now perform in their own theater within the studio. So they bought an old, I want to say it was an old, well, not an old, but it used to be, I want to say they used to have a theater, like, it used to be a theater, like, for, like, acting theater. And then there was a church, or there's a building next, or not a building, because it's all in one, it's all like a strip mall type thing, but they own, like, the first 2 business portions of it where the theater was, and then there's another business, so to speak, next to the studio. So it's a church, actually. I don't know if that's a business, an organization. So the pastor of the church, his wife runs this dance studio next to the church. So, last Friday, the one dance class that my daughter's in had to utilize the church facilities because of rehearsals that were being done by a different group of kids at the dance studio. Like one of their more intense programs that they have called Cultivate, where if you're in the Cultivate program, you are intending to learn at a higher level, not just, you know, show up, do your best. It's still show up, do your best, but it's a little bit more, what's the word I'm looking for? Intense, I guess, because, you know, they know you're there to really learn and polish your techniques and get better and maybe possibly one day do it as a career, you know, kind of thing. So you have to audition to get into the program. And there's one area of dance that my daughter is not polished in, I guess you could say, because she used to do ballet. Because the first studio we were at, they were required to do ballet tap as a technique class, and so she had taken that for a few years, so she has the experience, but it's kind of one of those, if you don't do it, you forget it kind of thing. So she hasn't had enough ballet training, and so when she auditioned last year, that's the only thing, is she missed just a couple different little things that she wasn't very good at. And that's, you know, so, but I think it worked out for the best, you know. It's not as intense. It's just funny thinking back to the other day about, she feels like she's having to rush to get some things done to meet a deadline, that a second deadline that was given to her, extra time that was given to her to complete some work for a badge, and she's like, but I'm feeling stressed because I'm being, you know, I feel like I have to rush to get this done. I don't have so much time, and blah 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 blah. But yet, she wanted to join this Cultivate program. I'm like, you know, if you can't handle having deadlines, I don't know that she can handle. I didn't tell her this, but I'm just thinking in my head, I don't know that she'd be able to handle the stress of all the practice and training of the dance. But, you know, again, if it's something you're passionate about, I guess it's different, you know, when you're being pushed a little harder for something. Some, you know, the badge work that she needs to get done, she just may not be passionate about, but she wants to do it, you know, like, I don't know, it's hard to explain. I've been jabbering on about her this whole time. And here I am sitting at the very beginning of this row going, I should have said something about this. I just picked it up and started going. Because if I don't do that, it will take me, I won't get a row done if I just don't. But anyway, I am continuing to work on my gigabyte blanket here. It is almost halfway done. Almost halfway done. Actually, no, did I make it halfway? 1, 2, 3, 4. No, this is the 5th one. Okay. I'm in the 5th repeat. So yeah, I am almost halfway done. Oh my goodness. I need to focus on this. I think that's what I'm going to do this week, even with all the busyness. But you know what? I feel like I can take a breath, because I did my daughter's hair and makeup yesterday, and the hair actually stayed, and she remained beautiful throughout the 3 hours of rehearsals that she went through yesterday. Whew. She said she was exhausted last night, and I don't blame her. She danced her little heart out, and she looked beautiful. And I just, oh my gosh, I'm going to be like, one of these years, I'm going to be shedding tears during the recital, because I'm always so close to it, but I hold them back, I guess. I don't know, but oh my gosh, I get so emotional watching the dance recitals. I don't know. And then her, you know, and then especially the older she gets, the more in sync her classes are getting. And so it's just like, wow, this is so cool to watch, you know. I wish I could show you guys, but, you know, with all that, you know, music copyright stuff, and oh, I could show you a video of a silent video, you know, from a distance, but what's the point, you know? The emotion's there in the music and the dance, you know, it's not just the dance. And so, but yeah, we have one more night of rehearsals, then we have 2 nights of recitals, and that poor girl and her hair and makeup, we're going to be doing it 4 times total. But tomorrow, she's going to go hang out with a friend and get her hair and makeup done. So I don't know that I have to do it. I'm not going to have to do it tomorrow, which is fun, but I got to at least do it once and figure out that, you know, I could at least get it done for the recitals, the actual recitals. And so I'm hoping the young lady that's going to help her is decent at doing makeup, so she's going to have a friend help her do her hair and makeup. But it's also going to be something fun for her to do, you know, go to a friend's house and, you know, hang out, goof around, get your hair and makeup done by a friend. And although I might do the hair first, I think she wanted me to do the hair, so I'll have to text this young lady and her mom. So we have a group text going with the friend and her mom. So with our AHD troop, it's not pushed, but they utilize that anytime you're texting teenagers and young children with phones or whatever, that it's, you know, highly encouraged to have the adults or parents of those children in the group chat. You know, I mean, it's a safety thing, I get it. And so we have a group chat with the young lady and her mom, and then my daughter and me, all in one group chat. So that way, you know, just safety, I get it. I think it's a great thing. I think it should be done for everybody, you know. So look at that. I think I'm getting faster. I want to say was I around the same place yesterday with 16 or 17 minutes, something like that. I don't know. But how are you guys liking this sit and stitch, where I just come on here, jabber on about literally anything, because I just went on about, you know, forever about dance recitals. And this isn't even a dance recital channel. It's a crochet channel. But that's my life outside of, you know, what y'all see on the streets of YouTube. I didn't do much for crocheting yesterday, guys. Like, I got some done. I took some with me. I took a small project with me yesterday to the recitals, or I keep calling it recitals, the rehearsals. I took my Tunisian bag that I'm working on, which I'm still a long ways away from finishing. Not a long ways, I just say that because it just feels like it's taking forever to get the length that I need. Because I'm building up a panel, and it's just taking me a long time. Not really a panel, I'm working a long Tunisian simple stitch panel that's going to be like, you know, somewhere around 28 to 30 inches long, so that way it can be a 14-inch deep bag is what I'm essentially going for, because that's about the size that I went for with the other bag. I definitely should have done tighter, shorter straps, because when that thing stretches out, it doesn't stretch out a ton. It stretches out enough that I was like, oof, I made these a little too long, I think. But that's okay. It's a cute bag. I like it. It works. I think it's going to be a project bag because I tried to use it for a Bible bag, and the Bible being a little heavy because it's a big book, you know, and then the notebook that I bring with me and the pens pouch that I bring with me, all that weight pulled down on it, and I didn't particularly care for that. So I was like, I think we're gonna turn this into a project bag. I don't think it's gonna be a book bag. So I'm learning, you know, I learned. So on this Tunisian bag, I know that whatever straps I put on it, now granted, the difference between the Tunisian bag and the granny square bag that I made is these shirts, sorry squirrel, I just can't get this little spot right here. They're supposed to be laid flat to dry, and so I don't iron. So like, yeah, anyway. The Tunisian bag is made in cotton, and the granny square bag that I made was made with acrylic. So acrylic does tend to stretch a little more than cotton. So, and then, but that's why I countered the acrylic with the thermal stitch for the handles and the little strip that I made to attach sides to make it, you know, to try to combat the stretch a little bit. So yeah, so I don't know what kind of straps I'm gonna do for the Tunisian bag, because I don't know if I want to do the same stitch as what I'm doing in the bag, you know? I'm trying to remember. Michael gave me some suggestions for the straps, I think. I thought I should have written it down. I wonder if I can't go back to that chat and see if, because I remember typing it in and going, ooh, I like those ideas and that idea. And so, what was it? It was the simple stitch, the reverse, oh, maybe the reverse stitch. I think that's what I was gonna do for the strap. Give it some different texture than the bag itself. I wonder if by doing the reverse stitch, if it does the same on the back. Okay, so I can look at this. It's hard to see very well, but it looks like the back is just as bumpy as the front. Okay, so the reverse stitch would be okay, because it would give the same texture on both sides of the strap. I'm gonna have to play with that and see. See, when I get ideas like that in my head to say I need to play with that and see, I almost immediately go and do that, and that's why I have so many darn things started. But whatever I do with the strap to play and see, if I do that right after, you know, right away, then whatever I do, I'm gonna have to frog out, because I want to do the strap where I start it with it attached to the bag. If that makes sense. I wonder if there's a way that I can bind off the bag, give it that top edge, right? And then come into a point where I start a strap. Start the strap. No, I can't do that. Well, unless, yeah, I don't think I can, because I think I'm gonna have to attach the strap after the fact, because if I try to come across with binding off, do the strap, I still have to undo and come back to finish the bind off in between the strap handle sides. And then continue. Yeah, anyway, just thinking out loud. So yeah, I don't think I can do it that way. I think I'm gonna have to do the strap after the fact and attach it somehow. How am I gonna do that? Now here's an option. Do I want to make the strap and glue it? Well, sew it and give it some glue to give it some structure. So it and glue it to the inside of the bag and not the outside. I want the straps to be inside, hidden or whatever. Yeah. There we go. I almost didn't wrap my yarn around to begin my pull through and almost lost my stitches. I'm almost done with the row. I think this is gonna be about the same. So it takes me about 30 minutes or so of talking to do a row. So I can get, if I were to sit here, an hour would get me about 2 rows. So in about 2 hours, I can complete a color. So that's what I'm saying. I could easily do my 2 colors each day, which I need to start doing. I didn't do any of it. I didn't do any yesterday except for what I did on the video. So what is today? Oh, today is Wednesday. So that means cotton. I gotta figure out what I'm gonna do for a cotton scrubby No, mug rug. We're going to do mug rug. I think we're going to do a mug rug. Not that, I don't know that any of you guys are going to follow along, but you know what? I'm going to make one. Now, do I do it with Scrubby or do I not do it with Scrubby? I don't know. So, again, are you guys enjoying these videos, you know, of me sitting here just literally talking about anything and everything unrelated to crochet? Sometimes I'll throw in crochet there, yarn, but I'm literally just sitting here getting work done on this and talking to you guys, so, and telling you about my life without getting too personal, you know? So, what was I talking about? So yeah, we have, thankfully tonight's a night off of rehearsals. She just has youth group, so that'll be a nice kind of refreshing evening for her. She won't be, you know, rushed to be run, rehearse, or anything like that. And she can just, you know, go have fun with some friends and learn, you know, learn about God and, you know, navigating this life with Him in this day and age that we live in, and, you know, have people around to talk to that she can talk to about certain things that are easier to talk to other people about than it is to talk with your parents. So I do love that she has a safe place to have conversations, hard conversations with people that are, you know, of the same beliefs that we are. So, all right, y'all, I have finished a row, and so I am going to get off of here and get my morning started and my day start going. And this is going to be on my hook today. I don't know. Do I drag this with me tomorrow evening to work on at the rehearsals? I tried to do that with my bag, and that didn't get done at all. Because, you know, you're kind of sitting in a dark-ish theater. Not really, but, I mean, they have lights on. More lights on than they do at the actual recital. But I was more entertained sitting there watching the dancers, so I wouldn't have been able to concentrate on the project anyway. And I kept getting up to run around to go get food or take the boys home. And they played video games all night while we were at rehearsals, and just, oh, it was crazy. I started running around about lunch, right after lunch, and I didn't stop till my head hit the pillow last night, so. All right, I guess I'll see you guys on the next one. Have a great day, and we'll see you later. Don't forget to be kind and be positive and make something beautiful, and we'll see you on the next one, friends. Bye.